All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Blackwing Trade. My name is Clinton, and this is a futures trading channel. You will see me trade the ES 500 futures, which is S&P 500 futures. Which are the mini 500 futures that you will see me trading on here. I particularly focus on doing pre-market analysis on this channel and doing live trades. I go live every morning. So that you can see that trading is attainable. I call this the ultimate side hustle. If you have a full-time job, listen, don't try to quit your full-time job. Keep your full-time job, learn how to trade, earn extra money, and then be able to do all the things that you want, whether it's making sure you stay up with your bills, taking a vacation, getting that extra piece of clothing, or maybe afford a car note, or whatever it may be. Trading is the ultimate side hustle where it can help you gain all the things that you really want to gain. So, I go live just to show people that this is something that's attainable. It's not easy, but it does come with hard work. I've been trading for about 4 years now, and I've traded options, traded stocks, traded options, and now I exclusively trade futures. So I love trading futures, and this is something that I believe that beginner traders can get into, and it's a lot easier, and you can definitely earn some income. So let's go ahead and get into the chat. Go ahead and get into the charts. I'm showing you a picture of the 4-hour S&P 500 futures chart, so we can look at the big picture. And so the new week started here, where you see this green line come in a couple of days ago. And we can see there was a big jump starting this week because that was an anticipation for the Fed meeting, which the Fed did cut the interest rates by 0.25%. So you can see we've basically been trading between 66.50 and we even got to a high of 67.19, almost 67.20. Trading up and down, you can see there was a lot of volatility on the day of the Fed cut. That's what you see on this day here, where you had a reduction, then you saw some massive increases and then pullbacks and coming back up. And so there's a lot of volatility on that day. But even after that, the market traded high on yesterday in the pre-market, pulled back a little bit, but then still traded there and then settled around 66.96, 6700, which was a previous high that the market had made. And so if you watch this channel, you'll see that I always talk about paying attention to price action and those price levels, because the market recognizes those price levels and it repeats and goes back to those price levels, just because, there's certain, you got to think of it as there's things that happen at those levels. There was buying and selling at those levels. And so people are holding till they get to those levels to sell. Some people are holding and waiting to buy back if they went short. And so there's things happening at those price levels that the market recognizes. And so it's good for your trading to be able to chart those levels. And so that's what I've done. You can see that I had a previous level down here at 66.06. That was a high from last week, and then it got to 66.96, which is a high. And then now the new high is 67.19. But we're still kind of we're still in price discovery in the market. And so the market is trading higher. We just had the Fed rate cut, and so obviously the market likes that. And then it's trading higher, and then establishing new highs, and then pulling back to known lows, and then trading again. So when the market is trading like that, I like to let it, I don't want to chase it up. I'll let it go up to whatever its high is, wait for it to pull back and either go short there or either wait till it pulls back to a known level and then go long and let it ride back up. And so that's my strategy. I also, for the most part on this channel, you'll see me doing a 15-minute opening range break. So that 15-minute opening range break allows that volatility to settle out and then us to be able to go in and take a trade. And so that is what you see on here, but that's the levels that we're looking at. So kind of put some specific numbers on it. If it trades up, it looks like it wants to trade up now. I can see it going to 67.20, possibly breaking it today and then establishing a new high and then pulling back. So that's what we're looking at for the high side, 67.20 and above, maybe 67.30. If it pulls back, it's going to pull back to 6,700. And then you got 66.80, which is the known level here. It'll pull back to in the pre-market last night. You see 67.80. I mean, it could go as low as 66.80, sorry. And it could go as low as 66.70. But I don't think it's going to pull back that far, but it could. Those are those intermediate levels behind it. And so, but for sure, 66.80 is a level that I'll be looking at if it begins to pull back. Right now, sitting around just under 67.10. 67.10, and so like I say, market looks like it wants to trade up now. So we go into the 1 hour just so we can see it a little bit closer. Then you look at this price action, you can see it traded down to 66.80 last night. Now it's pushing up hard. 67.10, broke through 67.10. So definitely probably gonna break through this 67.20 and then establish a new high, pull back. And we don't want to chase it this high. You know, with all this movement going up, this will definitely be chasing it higher. And you definitely, for your risk to reward, you would want it to go ahead and establish this high and then pull back. And then, like I say, either you go short or you catch it when it bounces off a known level. Maybe it goes up to 67.20 or 67.25 and then pulls back to 6,700. Then, you know, if you want to go long, that'd be a great place to go long because it's established that pullback point. All right, so a couple of things on the news. So we had a lot of news, a lot of things happening this week. Had the initial jobless claims came in yesterday. They came in at 231,000, which is below the estimates of 240,000. So the labor market is still cracking. That's why the Fed lowered the interest rates, but it wasn't as many claims as thought on yesterday. Then we had the Fed lower the interest rates, and so 25 basis points been lowered. So we saw that, and then you know, as far as other news, want to get into the S&P 500. Top 10. Excuse me. So we can look at the top movers. I look at the top 10 of the S&P 500 because when you in the aggregate all together, the top 10 companies are about 30% of the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is weighted by market cap. And so companies that have a larger market cap, those larger companies have a greater percentage in the index. And so when you add all those top 10 together, like I say, you're over 30%. And so when those top 10 companies are doing well, the market is being pulled up. And when those top 10 companies are not doing so well, it's being pulled down. And so since I trade the index, I pay attention to these things. And so a couple of things. Everybody's favorite phone, Apple. And so Apple has got some forward momentum on this morning because their iPhone 17 sales are strong. You know, the iPhone 17 is their new phone that they announced like 2 weeks ago. So they've definitely got a boost in the pre-market and they're trading up. They're at 240 because, like I said, those sales are looking good. And so the investors like that. Let me go out to the bigger. So their high is 241. And like I said, they're trading at about 240 now, almost got to 241 in the pre-market. So they're doing well. Berkshire Hathaway, this is Warren Buffett's company, conglomeration of companies. It's been trading sideways like 490 for a while. You know, it hasn't really done too much outside of the 490s. So it's kind of in a sideways consolidation. You see, you got as high as 507 a few weeks ago, but it's been trading in the 490s. And Broadcom's kind of going sideways now in the 340s. They pulled back from the 370s, and now they're in the 340s, sitting at about 345. It looks like there might be consolidating for a bigger move a little bit later too. Tesla has been doing well. You know, they've been talking about buybacks with the company to try to increase valuation. But you can see they've traded up into the as high as the 430s in the pre-market a few days ago. And so, you know, they've been on a run since, like I said, since last week, and went from 350 to 420. So that's a 70-point move. So Tesla shareholders are definitely happy because of that. Nvidia. So Nvidia has been dealing with some news, but then they also kind of balance out. So they've been having problems with selling their H20 chip in China, just because they've had a lot of things happen. About a month or so ago, they worked out a deal. They worked out a deal with the U.S. to sell chips to China, but give 15% of that money to the U.S. And that was kind of to stop the tariffs. So, but then China was like, no, we don't want your chips because they may be compromised. They are scared about security concerns and things like that. Then, China hit them last week with a antitrust. Basically, they said they violated their antitrust laws in China for sale of those chips. And so, this stuff is really kind of, I believe, a result of the trade wars. And so they were dealing with that. Then they pinned a deal to get a $5 billion stake in Intel. So Intel, is a major chip maker for PCs, laptops, and all that stuff. And so they helping Intel and help them along the way. Intel had been basically behind the curve in AI and all that other stuff. They had lost a lot of market share. A lot of things happening bad with Intel. But this is an upside for Intel. And somehow this is probably going to be good for NVIDIA too. I don't know, because Intel does have the capability of manufacturing and throughput and all that other stuff, strong research and development. And so this may help them, maybe a win-win situation to help both companies, but we'll see how it works. The Googles are trading in the 250s. Google had some great news early in the week. They passed at $3 trillion in valuation. So, there's a small handful of companies that are up there, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple. And so they crossed that $3 trillion of valuation. And so they're doing well. Microsoft still sitting around about 510. They've been fluctuating plus or minus 5, around 510 for a little bit. So it looks like it's a little consolidation. They've been trading a little bit higher, but they're doing well. Amazon is sitting in the 230s. You can see they're trading, got as high as 239, but they're trading in the 230s right now. And then Meta, everybody's favorite social media company. Meta has been on a run. They almost about to break $800 a share. It's just crazy. And they've been trading up. A lot of ad revenue, some things with AI and things like that. And so Meta has been doing well. About a month ago, they had a blowout, awesome earnings report. And they almost gained like $100 in their earnings report. And they've been trading high ever since. Pulled back a little bit to take some profits. You can see they got down to like 720. But then they've traded all the way back up to the 780s right now. And so they're doing well. All right. And that is, all of the S&P 500 top 10 companies. And so we're going to go back to the futures. And we can see now it's up to 67.11. So it's probably going to be a pop at the beginning. So we just sit here, wait for the open.
$450 a year. Ultimate Season Pass really is the best. It is a top-rated plan from TXU Energy. TXU Energy. Energy for everything.
Visit txu.com for more information. Rep number 10004.
Hi, Spotifyers. Click or tap the banner to listen to Esenciales, timeless Latin hits a 5 años de Hawaii. Brought to you by Patron Tequila, 100% blue Weber agave. The perfect way to enjoy Patrones responsibly, handcrafted in Mexico, imported by the Patron Spirits Company, Coral Gables, Florida. Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume.
All right. And a strong pullback.
Brewed tea isn't made from real gold. Peak real brewed tea made on a golden but it is brewed from real tea leaves and real cane sugar for real smooth taste that's worth its weight in gold. Gold Peak Tea. Real is gold. Click or tap for more.
Who says you can't be the topic of conversation for all the right reasons? The Hyundai Tucson Hybrid pairs bold presence with
all right, so you can see that
know you need it in an SUV and then some. Okay, Hyundai.
It's pulling back now. Went up,
To learn more.
and now it's kind of pulling back kind of hard. Let me see if it pulled back to 6,700. And VWAP is at 6,700. That's gonna make for a pretty big range right there. I draw out the 15-minute open range break with a rectangle on the chart so that I can see it visually.
Order filled.
Right. Should have another candle here in a little bit. Then see it pull back to this previous known high. Well, while I was doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and edit the properties on this. Send this out for the rest of the day. See, we have a well-defined range. It's fighting just on the VWAP. Some of trading is boring. You're just sitting there and waiting for it to get to where you want it to get to. See, it's okay, pivoting a little bit above now.
Order filled.
Okay. So I was in a trade. You can see on my screen here. Just made 600 on that trade. Let it pull back for a little bit and then went in on that trade. So let me go back here to our normal screen. And see what we look like for our normal opening range break today. On that trade, I went in at 6,700. My stop was below the previous low, just below the previous low, which was 66.96.75. I got the market's unsure about what it wants to do. Pivoting around 6,700.
Order filled.
All right, so I'm in a trade now. I'm going to trade around 6,700. But I only have one contract now because I want to reduce some of this risk. I don't know if it's going to pull back or what, but my stop is just below here, 66. Actually, I'm going to just take it to 66.96. So just in case it begins to pull back, I only lose $175. Because if it gets below that previous low, I don't want to be continuing to holding it too long. But with one contract, I think I can go in at 6,700. If it trades up to like 67.10, 67.15, be in a good place. Oop. Go back here. Some things I want to trade. Well, I guess I could go back on the screen so you can see. Top Step has some great risk management things, and so one of the things I'm gonna trade, I put this at 1,500. Since I'm qualifying with this account, with that at 1,500, so I don't break the area where I should be.
Horsepower, 0 to 60 times. These are among the benchmarks when considering a new vehicle. But Lexus believes there are some things, immeasurable things, that matter more. Awe, exhilaration, joy. How a cabin feels like it was crafted with you in mind. The way an engine note resonates with your soul. Because a car that doesn't make you feel something is a car that stops short of amazing. That's the standard of amazing. Lexus, experience amazing.
For the first time ever, you can get all of ESPN in the new ESPN.
All right, so it looks like we're beginning to trade up now.
with one incredible offer. The most live
And I'm not within the 15-minute opening range break, but I did pivot on a known level that I think that it's going to trade around. And so went long at 60. Actually, I went long at 66, 99, 50, 6,700. And I can see it pivoted and trading around that area. I'm hoping that it gets up. Now my stop, my take, my, actually, let me bring this up here while we're trading up.
Carvana Auto Loan entered my terms and shop from thousands of great car options all within my budget. That's cool that financing through Carvana was so easy. Financed. Done. And I get to pick up my car from their Carvana vendor.
So I make 225 no matter what. I brought my stop loss up to 225.
Financing, or you can actually finance and buy your car today on Carvana. Financing subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply.
Order filled.
Okay, so it pulled back and hit my stop loss. That's fine. But you can see now I'm up 813. And this is just taking one contract, pivoting off 6,700. So if it pulls back to 6,700, actually, I'm going to try to go with some extra contracts here at 6,705. See if it gets up there. 6,703 is where the 9 EMA is at right now. 6,703 looks like 50. Oh, that was a big push up.
Order filled.
All right, so let's see what we get. Do I get a push up or do I get a pullback? I'm gonna pull this back down to just trying to get 67.10. Yeah, it's doing a lot of hesitate. I don't like what it's doing now. Looking for 67.10.
Order filled.
Okay. So that's 3 trades for me for the day. 1, 2, 3. 3 trades. And I think I'm going to call it a day. You can see that's $1,100 quick, just like that. Look like it's about to go. Let me see, can I get...
Order filled.
Let's see, will it go up to where I can break? Okay, it's pulling back, I'm in at 67.10. Trying to hit 1500 for the day. Let's see if it continues to push up. It's broke the top side, so this is my 15-minute opening range break normal trade. Let's see if we guys hesitating at 67.10 though. I don't like this. Let's see if it gets higher. The pre-market high was like 67.10. Let's see if it breaks through that. It look like I'm about to get a pullback. Okay, it's pushing back up a little bit. Let's see what we get. Get another candle here in about 15 seconds. Let's see if it continues to trade up. Look like it wants to trade up. Likes a fluctuation here. They're trying to be patient, making sure it doesn't go beyond the bottom of the 15-minute opening range break, which is 6707.5. Oh, strong pullback. Good morning, Miss Cora. How you doing? Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. See you there. Okay, yeah, it's starting to pull back. Or maybe pulling up a little bit. I think I want to come out of, well, it's pulling up some. I think it may pull back to the 9 EMA and then push back up. Whoa, it's pulling back hard. Hoping that it pulls up.
Order filled.
Okay. We're waiting for a pull up here. Yeah, I think it's gonna pull back. So I'm waiting in this trade now. Wait for it to pull back up. Okay, there's my pull up. I bounce back off the 9 EMA to see if it goes back up. I don't like this hesitation. Should get well, you gotta get a new candle in about 2 minutes. We cross 9 o'clock. We're gonna see if it's a reverse trend now.
This summer is with TXU Energy Ultimate Season Pass. Not with an oversized umbrella hat? Not when you can get 50% off energy charges during peak summer and winter. What about an elaborate array of in-home misters? Sit back and enjoy even more months of automatic savings. So I don't need to use an ice pack as my pillow. Not when you're saving more than $450 a year. Ultimate Season Pass really is the best. It is a top-rated plan from TXU Energy. TXU Energy. Energy for everything.
Visit txu.com for more information. Rep number 10004.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy.
There is some buying pressure and some selling, but it's still hovering around 605, 6705.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Tap the banner to learn more.
It's trying to be patient here. Sometimes it's being patient, allowing the trade to work out. It wants to gain that momentum and go up. It's above the 90 MA now, so that's a good sign. Okay, now there's a strong push up. Yeah, these wild swings. Normally I wouldn't be in a trade this long. I went long on the opening range break around here. It went up, it didn't hit my profit target, and then it pulled back. And it didn't pull back all the way back like to VWAP. If it would began to pull back way back here, I probably would just got out of the trade. But you can see it's in the caution area now, but I'm still in the trade. That's because I had a conviction that it probably would, since it didn't pull back all the way back down here and keep going hard, that it probably was just doing some selling and then it's going to push back up. So it's close to the top of the range right now. Like I said, it pulled back, did a little wick, came up, and you can see the 90 MA traded above that. Now you can see it's about to push up outside of the range, the 15-minute open range, break range, and pivot up. So once it gets up there, like I said, I went long around about 608 here, 75 or so. Yeah, 608, 75. So I can see it continuing to push up some. All right. Yeah, and so you can see my screen. Just waiting for it to pull up. I have a profit target already set. I've already put a, $1,000, just under $1,100 in. It's down. This trade is down like 160 some, but as soon as it crosses over Like I said, I got conviction that it's gonna go up, and then my daily profit target is 1,500. You can see that range still, like I said, it's hesitating right at the top of the range. I don't like the hesitation. It does make me a little nervous. But just pull back and then push up, pull back, push up. Yeah, see, this is a hard pullback. Yeah, I don't like this move. Oh, okay. All right, it's turning around on me. This is a classic ABCD pattern where you have a strong push up, you have a consolidation and pull back, and then you have a strong push up afterwards. It's a standard trading pattern. So this is a strong push up, and this candle around 845. You can see it had a strong push, and then these two candles account for the strong push. Then it consolidates. It finds, it pulls back a little bit, and then it pushes up for a higher push. And you're sitting here waiting, being patient for that push up. Get another candle here in about a minute and a half. But it's definitely, this is what you call consolidation. When you see candles going sideways like this for a while, this is called consolidation, because they're going sideways. You have equal buying and selling, and then that prepares it for either a push up or a push down. Ms. Cora, I don't know if you got your Ninja Trader account. Let me know if you got your Ninja Trader account. All right, there's a push up. Another push up. Yeah, this thing is up and then pulling back hard. I don't like these moves. It's pulling to the top of the range and then pulling back. Like I said, this is a classic. This is what we call the ABCD pattern. So this is the A point. It pushes all the way up to the top, which is B. It pulls back to a low, which is C. And this is when you're supposed to go long, like right here. And then it pushes up. At least what I'm thinking, this is working out for an ABCD pattern. So ABCD is easy pattern that a lot of people remember. So like I say, this is like the A point. It pushes up, hard push up. This is your B at the top of this angle. And then when it pulls back, the lowest point it pulls back is C. Right now, this is an ABCD pattern. Low 6702, 6703 would be like the C. And it's kind of 6703 is probably a good point because it pulled back in the vicinity of 6703 a couple of times with these points. And so that's where you would go long. And then the D is, when it pushes up to the other side, and that's where you take the profits at C. So you watch it go up. The good thing about an ABCD pattern is like you don't have to be there from the beginning. You actually watch it go up. And then when it pulls back, you want to take the long. You're long here if you're going long. And then you ride it up, either to the top of where it was at or even, beyond that. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't know if it's gonna push back up or not. Trying to be patient with this, but I don't like where it's going now.
Hi, Spotifyers. Click or tap the banner to listen to Esenciales, timeless Latin hits a 5 años de Hawaii. Brought to you by Patron Tequila, 100% blue Weber agave. The perfect way to enjoy Patrones responsibly, handcrafted in Mexico, imported by the Patron Spirits Company, Coral Gables, Florida. Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume.
The best way to beat the Texas.
Yeah, I think this is this going down.
Season pass. Not with an oversized umbrella hat? Not when you can get 50% off energy charges during peak summer and winter. What about an elaborate array of in-home misters? Sit back and enjoy even more months of automatic savings. So I don't need to use an ice pack as my pillow. Not when you're saving more than $450 a year. Ultimate Season Pass really is the best.
Let's see if it pulls up on this next.
TXU Energy. Energy for everything.
Visit txu.com for more information. Rep number 10004.
Nope.
Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea isn't made from real gold, nor is Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea made on a golden peak. But it is brewed from real tea leaves and real cane sugar for real smooth taste that's worth its weight in gold. Gold Peak Tea. Real is gold. Click or tap for more.
Who says you can't be the topic of conversation for all the right reasons? The Hyundai Tucson Hybrid pairs bold presence with advanced technology and sleek style. It's everything you didn't know you needed in an SUV and then some. Okay, Hyundai. Visit HyundaiUSA.com to learn more.
All right, let's see if it pushes up. Okay, there's a little turnaround. Let's see how much that holds. It gets back above the 9 EMA. Every time it seals down, they buy it back up. All right, let's see what we get. Yeah, we look at the big picture. I mean, the market's trading okay. If I look at the top 10 of S&P 500, I got 7 of them in the green and 3 in the red. So those companies, mostly tech companies, all of them are doing well. Tesla is rocking. Microsoft. Some of those big companies are doing well. Broadcom not pulling back some. Berkshire Hathaway pulling back a little bit. Apple still doing well. And the Google's trading in the green. So a lot of range on that candle. You can see it got back down to like 67, 75, and now it's up at 67.05. Pivoting around 67.05 now. I don't know if this thing's going to turn around or try to go back up or what. Get another candle here in 1 minute. Okay, push down. Okay, let's see if this is the push-up candle. It's like it keeps playing with my emotions now. I'm just waiting for it to pivot back up. Oops, sorry. Let me move this out of the way. Keeps trading down. All right. Still holding and waiting. Okay, I'm finally gonna get my push up. All right, look like I'm finally getting that push that I'm on. So this is the ABC recognizing patterns, the power and recognizing patterns. So this is the ABCD pattern. So like I said, this is the A point pushing from the beginning of the push. It pushed up hard all the way up here. This is B, which is the top of the push, which is 67.11. Pull back to the lowest point now. Actually, it was pulling back to VWAP, which is 67, basically 6,700, 6,701. You can see it pull back just a little bit, 6,700 basically, and then now it's going to be a push up higher. And you can see this will be the C point, and this is where you would go long at. But you can tell, it's hard to tell while you're in the trade. You know, like at first I thought it was around about 63.07, and you could have went long at 63.07 and put your stop maybe like under VWAP or something a little bit under VWAP. I mean, if you'd have went long at 63.07 and risked like 3 or 4 points, your stop would have been like down here somewhere. So you'd have been fine. And then we can see if it's going to push up now. I might have spoke prematurely.
And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months.
All right, Miss Cora, good question. You can trade oil futures and make money off oil. Now, if you're going to trade oil futures, to be honest with you, I would recommend that you probably actually go with a funded trader, just because to make money in oil, like those futures contracts, you have to have a little bit more money. So if you go with a funded trader, like I trade on Top Step right now, you can learn how to trade oil. And AI, definitely, you're right. There's a lot of AI companies, but the thing about AI is spread all the way across the market. So you got the infrastructure, which is chips, which is NVIDIA. So they make all the chips for AI. You might have software for AI, so AI is going to be spread across the spectrum. And then now every company is trying to incorporate AI into what they do. So, you just kind of have to pick. Like if you want to go into hardware and chips, NVIDIA is a great company to invest in. I can show you NVIDIA right now. This NVIDIA started off, they've been a company, they've been around probably 20 plus years. They started out making chips for gaming chips, and they transitioned into their GPUs drive the AI, AI servers and things like that. And so they transition. They're like $4 trillion company. I want to say that they're the top company now in the world. They're like valuation at $4 trillion. And so that's definitely a company to invest into. And they're trading at about $177 now. So, their stock is not too high, but it is high. But that's a good company to get into. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't like Elon Musk, but Tesla is a great futuristic company to get into. They have the market on electronic cars. They're doing robotics. They're going to be doing these driverless cabs. So Tesla is a great company to get into if you want to get into AI or something like that, or just, future disrupting companies. But we can, that's a longer conversation where we can do some more research, because there's a lot of companies that's betting into AI. Everybody basically is transitioning to AI because they see that as, the wave of the future. So, man, this thing pulled back hard. I don't like this type of price action. And this is a price action within the, 15-minute opening range. See, it hasn't made a definitive move up. It started to make a move up, and then now it's basically consolidating. Now it's about to go down. I think I'm going to get out of this trade because it's about to go to the downside. Oh, wow, that fell down pretty hard.
Order filled.
Yeah, I got out of this trade because it's pulled down hard. So, yeah. So it started to make a move to the downside versus upside. So that's the way it consolidated to go down instead of going up. I don't know if it's going to pop back up or do what. Hard to tell. If you have that amount of money, I can show you how to do, if you want to just go strictly stocks. You might have to go, and I'm out of trade now, so I can show you some things when I'm on here. But if you want to have a smaller amount of money and get into certain stocks, there's a strategy called leaps, where you buy long. This is actually an option strategy. That's a little different because if you took $500 and you bought, let's go back to NVIDIA. If you bought NVIDIA, you would basically only be able to get like 2 shares because it's $177 a share if you just strictly bought the stocks. So, it can make money, but it would take on. You would have to wait for a long time to do it because you got to think you only have 2 shares, and so when it goes up, you might gain. If it goes up $20 and you got 2 shares, you only make $40. But if you do, I'm going to show you something which is their options, which is a little different. So their options, their long dated options for NVIDIA are going to cost a lot of money, but I just want to give you a solid picture. So you can see here, if you're seeing on my chart, this is their options. If I bought an option, option gives you the right to buy a certain stock at a particular price. So you could buy it, say like I want to buy it at $175, but I want to keep that option to do it for a whole year. Well, a lot of people buy options because options values increase as the price goes up and it decrease as the price goes down. And so you could spend $3,300. That's how much it would cost to buy one option of NVIDIA. Now, the options market is standardized where one options contract is equal to basically 100 shares. And so if NVIDIA goes up $100 over the year and you have an option, you will get part of that gain. You would get a lot of that gain if you have the option for a lot less than owning the stock. You would get, and that's like I said, it's a whole different class on options. But if you could trade futures on, actually you could trade futures on Ninja Trader, or you can go with a funded trader like I'm doing with Top Step, and so you pay for their evaluation phase and you learn how to do it, and it's the way they do it now is a subscription, and you learn how to trade, and then you qualify, then you become a funded trader with them, and then you can begin to make money off those trades. And so it kind of just depends, but I know that's probably going to be a long conversation. Now, you can invest with $500 in smaller companies, though. Like the bigger companies, they're going to cost more, so you have to have more money. But you can have some smaller companies, like some good, getting back to what we were talking about, some good quantum computing companies. Like here's a company here called Rigetti Computing. They're doing quantum computers, which is the next phase of computing. You can see their shares are only $26. So this would be a company that you can buy. I mean, you would have 10 shares if you bought them. But if you go to their year dated out, only cost you $1,100 to get their year dated out, option. You got companies like Oklo. They're still a little bit higher. I got this stock, or I'm kicking myself because I bought an option on this stock when it was $20, and when the market crashed, I sold, but now they're up $122, and so they're kicking. This is a little bit more expensive too. This one's like $5,000 for that one. The Qubits, which is D-Wave Computing, about $1,000 if you bought an option a year out. Same thing with IonQ Computing, about $3,000. So there's a lot of different companies you can invest in. It would take some research, but you definitely, if you had $500 to start with, you definitely could do some things. That's would take some time to find the ones that match what you got. But that's a great amount of money to start with. Probably with, like say, with futures, there'll be a great amount of money to start with futures trading with Ninja Trader. Looks like it's pulling back. All right, so it got below the low. So this looks like somewhere where we can go low.
Order filled.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a trade to the downside. Know if it's gonna keep going down or what. Doesn't look good. Yeah, look like it wants to go back up.
Order filled.
I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna see if it goes down to 6680.
Horsepower, 0 to 60 times. These are among the benchmarks when considering a new vehicle. Lexus believes
Well, I think I'm gonna actually cut the broadcast at this point now.
awe, exhilaration, joy. How a cabin feels like it was crafted with you in mind. The way an engine note resonates with your soul. Because a car that
Yeah.
is a car that
If I don't buy for a year long, how long would I have the stock?
Lexus experience amazing.
Okay, it depends on how long the option goes.
You finally managed to get away on vacation. And the worrying starts. Will that bogus beware of the dog sign keep your home safe?
Then how long the option goes, I'll hit you up
Will someone finally
to talk about the specifics.
safe-ish? But ADT provides security solutions.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and come off now. Thank everybody for jumping on today, and I'll see you later. Thanks for jumping on. I'll see you next week.